But yeah, Miguel, let's go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Miguel Jimenez. So pretty much people always want to know how to get into a dispensary. There's no corporate website you can really log in. Well, nowadays you can actually post your resume on there, but keep in mind there's so many people trying to get in this industry. The best way to go is just go in. If you have your patient card, go in with the resume ready, introduce yourself, get familiar with the staff. There's dispensaries everywhere, but I'm sure you have your home-based dispensary you like to go to. So it's one you don't travel too far away. It's one people already know you. They know kind of what you're looking for. They don't spend too much time really getting sidetracked off other things. But
Stay where you're familiar, though, is what you're saying.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
the dispensary you buy from is a dispensary you probably should work for. It's someone you trust and already familiar with.
Yeah, it's always the best way forward. It's just go in with the resume ready and just talk to people. I've noticed that it's a high turnover in the dispensaries.
Why do you think that is?
It could be overwhelming. It could be really stressful. I know it's kind of ironic to say because, from a bud tender is the term they call you because you're helping patients. You're selling cannabis to them, whether it's flower.
You're like a bartender, but a bud tender. You're
Correct.
actually distributing cannabis instead of distributing alcohol.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and in a sense, it seems like it's the same because you have a lot of patients who go in there and they freely tell you anything that's going on wrong in their lives, and they rely on your expertise to kind of help them out. So it's also like you're a therapy for them. So other than just recommending whether it's flower, concentrates, edibles, they're there for something much more other than just buying cannabis.
Right.
In the end, that's what's kind of going to bring people to certain dispensaries is that they actually feel like they're being cared for other than just you're just trying to sell them random stuff and get them on their way out the door. I've been to some dispensaries as a patient to where it felt awkward for me just because they don't really discuss anything about what they have in the store.
Right.
Or they don't explain anything to me. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't really know what I want. So I guess I'll just, get something for my first time patient deal. But other than that, there's places I just never went back other than to utilize my first time patient deal.
So do you think that's the way the dispensary does it, or do you think that's the bud tender personally that you ended up with?
Bud tender personally, for sure.
So that personal interaction made you not want to come back to that dispensary again, huh?
Correct.
And I do notice that too. And that's, when we do hire people for our dispensaries, we want to make sure that it's somebody who's going to bring customers back, and that they are somebody who's knowledgeable and has the ability to have a conversation with a patient. It's very important that you listen and acknowledge what they're saying, and not just recommend the daily special or whatnot. And then, I definitely agree that a bad bud tender can definitely turn you off from an experience, and it has nothing to do with the dispensary itself. It's that person that you talk to, and finding a good personality to be a bud tender is a hard thing for dispensaries to find, because sometimes they just have holes to fill, and finding the right educated person tends to be tough. And that's where Herbal Risings came in. That's what we do. But I don't want to get sidetracked on the on the certification part of it. But I definitely want to talk more about the patients who come in and what you see on a cannabis helping out on a daily basis. But
I think it was difficult to get away from where I was just because I was honestly comfortable. But mainly, what really kept me around was the patients that came back to just talk to me or just see me. Just to chit chat, whether it's just everybody has a lot of personal stuff going on, and we're just so self-absorbed in our ways that we don't acknowledge what others are going through. And you get that one bad experience with whether it's a patient or another bud tender, and you just gotta dismiss it, because in the end, it's just we don't know what that person's going through. And then as a bud tender, you should listen to your patients and just dismiss a lot of the stuff that's kind of negative being thrown at you. Because on the most part, we get people who would just say that our flour was garbage, and this was garbage, that's garbage, your prices are too expensive, I can get this over there. So it's just you deal with a lot of that going on.
Yeah, and I noticed a lot of some people just want to complain, and that you can't help it. They're gonna leave bad reviews. They're gonna do whatever they gotta do just to make themselves feel better. And unfortunately, they should have tried the cannabis. It would have made them feel a little bit better instead of leaving that review or whatever else. Give it a try. Even if you think it is garbage and you did have a bad experience, if you come in with the right attitude, we can probably work that out.
Mm-hmm.
You come in with a bad attitude. Well, you know what? People fire back with they match energies, and it's just the human nature.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately we're probably going to butt heads if you come in all angry. I might get steamed up too. So trying to have a cool head is very important as a bud tender, as a dispensary agent, because these people are having rough days, and your job is to make their day a better experience. You're giving them cannabis at the end of the day. When they go home and smoke it, they're probably going to reflect on this moment and go, shit, I was an asshole. I'm sorry, but I've already left the review. He's already told me to fuck off. Well, now I got to go somewhere else. We got to stop that. There's only 125 open medical marijuana dispensaries as it is. It's a small community. You're probably going to get the same cannabis at the other dispensary you go to because they're all grown by the same people. They're all in the same community. So we start treating it like a community and start treating it like we're all humans. We start seeing it a little bit different. And maybe people will start reflecting when they leave those reviews or say those things, those comments to people. It's really the golden rule. Would you say it to yourself?
Right.
So yeah, we're trying to put out the best products we can, but sometimes things happen, and especially dispensaries. They're seeing massive amounts of quantities coming in. Yeah. There might be a bad bud in the batch. Sometimes that happens. You might have an undernourished branch or underlit branch, and you get that one bud, and they just got past the quality control, and it happened. But if you would have came in with the right attitude, maybe we could have worked that out. And yeah,
definitely a right attitude.
yeah. Having a good attitude is important, especially in a bar or cannabis setting. These people are trying to feel better, and people are angry and depressed, and cannabis can help. CBD can help for that for sure. Pass me these crystals. Let's load this thing up. So now, when you working in the dispensary, are you seeing a lot of people coming in? Thinking that they should just get a job because they know weed, are applying.
So pretty much, yeah, you nailed it, because they think we smoked everything that's behind us at the store. They think we've used all the products in the store, and yeah, it's for me. Okay, from my point of view, definitely my mentality's changed 100%. From the first time I started working, I first got hired on. I wasn't a medical card holder yet. I was just a dispensary agent.
Right. So you didn't have your medical marijuana card, but you were smoking marijuana, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Arizona. You got these expensive cards, but you got patients who need it.
Right.
And, they're going to find it some way or another. So, lowering the cost, extending the card length is good steps, to preventing this, making the card more accessible to patients. But go on, man.
Absolutely. No, you're right. Yeah. And that's also important, because it's $250 to $350, depending on your income or if you have assistance. And that's the downfall. This stuff is so natural and organic. It does a lot of good than it does any harm. And it's expensive. The year comes around, you already have to pay $200+. It's like, holy cow, this is an electric bill. This is another form of bill. And the card is just really important, because you legally purchase cannabis, but at the end it keeps you out of the law's hand.
Yeah, it's a bulletproof vest. It's not a bomb-proof vest, but it does give you some protection, and it's better to have it than not have it.
Yeah. And nowadays, you got to be careful. You do not want to walk around with cannabis if you don't have your card, because as soon as a police officer smells on you or there's going to be harassment. Yep. And nowadays, you just want to avoid that as much as possible.
Get the card. Yeah, definitely. I've had weed in the card. I've just smoked and been pulled over, and I tell them, hey, I got my card. They check it out. Yep, it looks like you. And they haven't asked any more from that. And that was really surprising, because I know that they're getting stringent on the DUI and the cannabis. Sometimes you get a good cop. Sometimes, it helps to be white. But, it definitely it's getting more lenient, especially in Arizona. I've definitely seen a change in the attitude, especially after Sheriff Joe Arpaio stepped out. There's definitely a lot more cops coming in and doing CBD dabs in the stores. They get more familiar with cannabis. I even saw them making concentrates, but you gotta know how things are made to see what they are on the street. And I think that's what they're doing. But anyways, so you didn't have your card when you went into the dispensary, but you got the position anyways. They got you a dispensary agent card. Now you can carry 5 pounds of marijuana, but you can't smoke 2.5.
Yeah. It was hard. The first 2 weeks were hard. It took a lot of, basically when patients ask, they rely on your expertise on what do you recommend? What do you smoke on? What do you prefer? A lot of patients who come in through there, they rely on what you smoke on or what you use or what your experience is, because in the end they don't have any idea what most of half the stuff could possibly do for them, and especially with stuff that's strain specific. Different terpenes, different aromas, different experiences. Terpenes are like my essential oils to cannabis. I used to actually recommend patients don't buy based off THC percentage, just buy off what smells.
Well, speaking of THC percentage, this is THCA crystals here. So it's not going to have much of a smell, just going to have much of a hit. Just go ahead and start inhaling. It's already ready to go.
I don't need to pull anything out. Okay.
Just do it. The Puffco is prepared and ready for you. Yep, and there it is. Just
Very
like
smooth.
that.
Very smooth.
Yeah, it's a those are THCA crystals, so that's a pretty big hit. And that's Miguel Jimenez, your professional bud tender, choking on a dab. Live on Herbal Risings Cannabis. Look at all that smoke, man. You really fogged it up in here. Whoa. I think we got too much smoke coming in now. Oh gosh. We're getting extra foggy. Oh man. Toking today with Miguel. Look at it.
This is, nobody would have guessed that you could get such a mean cough from just a simple vape device.
The last word, your last famous last words were, "It's so smooth." And now you're purple.
So concentrates are like the cocaine to THC. It's unnatural. It's high. It's up there in percentage. I sparingly use concentrates.
It's 74 degrees in here and he's sweating. Just so the fan is on. So Toking today with Miguel Jimenez. We can see the effects of a regular vaporized bag compared to THCA crystals.
That's mega dose right there.
So night and day here, huh? All right, so customers come in, want to know if you tried things before. Now you can say you've tried THCA crystals. You can recommend those professionally. But you don't have any experience, so what do you tell them?
So if I've never used a certain products, especially like dabbing, I don't like the form of dabbing. It's too much. You got your contraption, this huge rig, and then you got your power source, or depending on how you're doing. If you're using a torch, I have kids in the house. I don't want to explain this giant torch to them. I'm like, I keep my stuff locked away, out of sight, out of mind.
That's good.
And if they smell something, they know it's daddy's medicine. That's all they know it is Papa's medicine. They don't touch anything. And I think having all those things out, it just adds to explaining more about my medicine, and I'd rather just not get into that. But so if patients ask me, just to get back in the subject about certain things I've never used, I openly just tell them, I actually just reverse the question and ask them, what are you looking to experience?
Right.
What do you want to get out of your experience
Nice.
with whatever you're looking for?
Do you see first time people come in never using cannabis?
Oh yeah. Those are my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Mainly because I do not want to sell them on a high edible. A lot of people want to buy high edibles.
And being at Yilo, that's all you had back there was just edibles.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Huh? You had like 480 milligrams. Oh, you had like 1,000 milligram stuff.
1,000 milligrams.
Yeah. Those are some potent stuff. I love Yilo edibles. I mean, that's just what I use on a daily basis. But I think edibles are definitely you have to know your dose and definitely control. Get that at home experience first. See how it's going to take you. See how long it takes to affect you, and where the end is. Because a lot of times you don't know where the end is on edibles.
Oh, God.
So recommending it to a first time patient is definitely difficult. I always recommended 10 to 20 milligrams. We used to have these little little hard candies that were 20 milligrams, and I would tell people to suck on those, put it in your cheeks because you get 90% absorption in your cheek. Feel the medication. Once you start feeling it, take it out.
Yeah.
Save it for later. That way you can just kind of hit it as you need it. And our elder patients love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what I know when I get the Yelo edibles, they have the Jamin ones that are 10 milligrams per piece, and I know they have those little single pieces. Do you recommend those a lot of times of the candy jar for the first time patients, or what do you?
Price wise, it's just not.
Those are $2 a piece.
Oh, those are they $2 a piece?
I don't know how much they are. I pay $10 for 10 pieces at 100 milligrams.
No. From what I remember, if it was a 10 milligram, it was like $10.
No, because I get 100
or $5. It might have been $5.
I think they're $2 a piece, man.
Me smoking and numbers just
don't
work out.
All right, so this is my manager of my store here.
This is why I have to just use CBD products during the day.
Yeah.
But
anyways, so a low cost effective edible. What do you usually recommend to somebody first time?
Definitely start with if you can 5 milligrams. If you can't, then 10 milligrams for sure, and give yourself at least 2 hours tops.
So you think 5 milligrams people should notice?
From what I realized, everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's experience reacts differently to different doses. I mean, our endocannabinoid system, we were meant to ingest all this stuff naturally. So if we've neglected to feed our bodies what it was meant to be consumed, I think low amounts of it could stimulate us in a certain way that will kind of make us realize or put us back in perspective that we need to consume more of this stuff.
So you don't have to get the high dose to be back in tune with your body.
No way.
You need microdosing. You think is a good way of doing it?
Absolutely. Just because. Honestly, with the industry, it's that's one thing as well as being a bud tender, is that they need to have like courses and classes and educate the bud tenders on not selling a brand new patient a 500 milligram edible if they've never had an edible before. Right. It just does not make sense. Is it because you want to make a higher sell? It doesn't matter. It's such a new industry still that if it's not exercised properly, it could collapse, and then the government's going to want to step in and start regulating everything to standards that we don't even want.
Which we're seeing now with like the vape pens. I know you have your vape pen around your neck right now.
Yeah.
There's a big, obvious controversy with the vape pens. Cigarettes are killing hundreds of thousands of people a year, but these vape pens, there's 7 reported deaths now and a couple people getting sick, and they're saying ban all vape pens. I saw an article of back in the prohibition, when they're trying to outlaw alcohol or bootlegged alcohol, the government was poisoning the alcohol. And, some people suggested that this might be what's happening with the vape pens. And they were getting these street level vape pens, and they might not even be from even, any dealers or whatever. It could be, something like that, and just trying to cause controversy. It could be the other guys, the cigarette guys, making people say there's all sorts of things going on here with the controversies in the vape pens. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely don't buy a cartridge on the street that's a gram for $5-10.
Yeah,
that's get it from a reliable, trusted source, licensed dispensary. Talk to your bud tender. Make sure they know the extraction methods. They know how the flavor is being enhanced, whether it's cannabis-derived terpenes or food-based terpenes. There's just there's no regulation or standards, so extractions are being done in a garage.
Yeah.
So
what do you like to vape on?
At the moment, I actually have a timeless cartridge. They claim they use cannabis-derived terpenes, and honestly, I could definitely taste the difference. I can definitely medicate differently. I don't have to vape as much, like, say, using True Infusion. They kind of tailor more around taste, and they're smooth, but still, it's just I'm not trying to vape more than I need to.
Sure. So a couple hits, timeless does pretty good for you on that. What milligram is that one?
It was a full 1,000, and this was about 2 weeks ago I had it.
Nice. So just keeping you by.
Yeah, I don't suck through it. I've had patients come back after they just bought a full gram in like 2-3 days and like downed it all.
Wow.
Jeez.
But you consume other cannabis too, though, right? I mean, that's not the only thing you do, right?
I prefer flower.
Yeah.
I do smoke it. Joints preferably. I don't do blunts. It's just a lot of paper, or no, it's a lot of grass that you're using up.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I get a clean pull, especially from like these.
That's my problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really. I feel like I waste so much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I only feel like if you're gonna use a blunt, at least enclose the area off, so at least the atmosphere, you get hot boxed in. You're gonna inhale the rest of the stuff you just wasted in the air.
We should turn our fan off and try that next. Yeah.
So that's I prefer like half-gram joints or like regular size joints, and then I like to use they're called trip papers. They're made out of cotton maltol, I want to say. It's different. It's clear paper. It looks like plastic.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're neat for that reason.
But it's like a vegetable base.
Mhm.
Yeah. I used to use I don't remember what brand it was, but I used to use a clear paper. I like the way that, because you see the green weed in there.
Yeah.
You start seeing that oil start drip down when you hit a good resiny flower. Yeah.
It's neat because I also like to use glass tips that I also ordered on Amazon. And you got to be careful. When you get glass tips, you don't want to get the ones that have the flat edge brim at the end.
Oh, really? I like those ones.
Okay, so this is the thing.
I chew on it. I put it in my teeth, and I hold it there.
Okay, so the thing with that is I can't roll. I use a roller.
Oh,
so I like the rounded tip, so I can just throw the tip in there and roll it up with my paper.
So you don't stick it on after? Because I use the rolling machine and I just stick it in the tip.
Oh no, I just throw the tip in there.
So it's inside the paper.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I do the opposite. I stick the paper inside the tip.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, maybe I stick the tip inside the paper. I remember, but I use the rolling machine and then I stick it in after. But yeah, I never actually put it in there with it because I don't want to. It takes up weed space. That's yeah. You gotta have a full joint.
And and like I said, I'm okay with like a half gram or a gram joint because if I need to, I'm just gonna roll another one.
Yeah. How many uses do you get out of a tip, you think?
Before I have to clean it, I would say at least five good joints.
You clean them and use them again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I threw mine away.
Yeah. No, I have a little container where, those little plastic eighth vials you get at the dispensary. I have it soaked in alcohol. I'll throw all my tips in there,
nice.
get a pipe cleaner, run it through. And there you go. I got another clean piece.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I'm probably too wasteful. But I like the Puffco for that reason. I don't have to. There's not too many things to replace. I just replaced the ceramic bowl. My other one, it wasn't getting as hot as it used to, and I guess when I took it apart, it had a bunch of ash in between there. So I probably clean it up and get it going again. But this is a new bowl, same old Puffco. But I like them, man. They hit good, as you saw.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that little device. Heck yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't really smoked flower too much. I mean, this is all the flower I didn't smoke. This is all my vaporized cannabis I've been putting through the volcano here, and I don't know. There's got to be something to do with it, but I don't want to smoke it. When I was in Hollywood, we used to do like background acting and things, and I need weed, man. I can't stand there and hang out on a set for 12 hours a day. So I would get the cigarette tubes and load this in the cigarette tubes. Like you'd roll your own cigarettes basically. Mm-hmm. But it was with the cannabis. So I just loaded those up. And it looks like, because it's brown now, it's been vaporized. So it looks like tobacco. So you'd have a pack of them, and this looks like a pack of cigarettes. I'd be smoking out there with the actors, and the security guards would walk by and be like, "It smells like weed." And I sure does. Just smoking through the filters. It got me by. It didn't get me like super high, but it kept me where I didn't have to like go to my car and get medicated. But it just kept me through the day. And it worked pretty good.
I got one question on that. Huh? Did you leave some of the tobacco in there, like a little portion, quarter at the end?
No, because I got the empty tubes. I bought it was a big box of just empty cigarette tubes. So it had the filter and the paper already attached. And then you have a cigarette loading machine, and you just put the weed in there, and it just shoots it right in there. And so you just like making cigarettes, just weed over and over. Yeah,
that cut times in half. For rolling.
Oh yeah, it did, but it had a filter, so I don't know if it was better for it or worse. Because I always heard you filter out the THC or whatever. You don't want to smoke weed through a filter. I don't know about that, but I still noticed it. So I don't know if that's a true fact or not.
I'm have to try that when I get home.
Yeah. But cigarette rolling machine or cigarette loader. I think it's a cigarette loading machine. Anyways, you get them at tobacco like smoke shops or whatever.
Probably get on Amazon too.
Amazon, yeah. You buy everything on Amazon now.
Oh yeah.
Are you an Amazon Prime member?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're on PUBG, apparently you get free stuff if you're an Amazon Prime member.
I am on PUBG. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I did not know this.
Yeah, they get free articles, clothing every like 5 days.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. You got
I did
like
not know about this.
you got like a mask waiting for you if you haven't collected.
What? I did not know about this.
Yeah.
That is fucking crazy. I've been doing PUBG live on here. I got my TV is back there. I just pull it up here and prop it up. But yeah, I got I sit here and play the Xbox and stream live. I usually have like one person watching me, but I haven't figured out the exact chroma key setup. So I'm kind of like doing split screen and like put me in the corner and shit. But eventually I'll have like a little screen back here where I just fade it all out, just my little head floating around like everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm trying it. I'm trying the gaming online. Do you play a lot online?
Not as often as I should.
As often as I should. Yeah. You do Xbox or you do the computer?
I had an Xbox 360. I haven't upgraded in modems.
Oh, so you do it on the computer?
No. Xbox 360.
You play PUBG on the 360?
Oh no, on my phone.
Oh,
Mobile.
you're doing the mobile.
Yeah, I do the mobile.
Oh, okay.
And on the computer. So
okay. I was doing the computer for a little bit, but I need a controller, and I programmed my my PlayStation controller to go with my Steam, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, no. Phone is this screen. You can't do it. You have to have a computer.
Looks like we're getting some questions here. Let's see here. Kevin says, I'm a homeless man here in the valley. I had just opened a smoke shop 45 days before a terrible motorcycle accident. My life was saved by MMJ and CBD. I never took a single opioid outside the hospital. I've also been trying to get a job in the industry. Any advice on how to do this? So what we were saying earlier, Kevin, is definitely, go to your dispensary, make sure that they see you often, for sure. Let them know that you are, interested in a position. What else would you say there?
So definitely go in, introduce yourself, have a resume ready. Let them know why you medicate, reasons on medicating, and just express that freely. Because one thing is, this is all still a learning experience for everybody.
So you say it's a good idea to say that you are a medical patient at the dispensary when you're trying to get a job?
Oh, heck yeah. It really does help. Unless you definitely know, you took Chet's courses and you know about, cannabis terpenes and break it down for them about just other than just THC.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good field in. But if you use the products, there's nothing like sharing those experiences to other patients.
Especially Kevin's experiences there, using THC and CBD to not have to do the opioids, going through the motorcycle accident like that, be down on your luck is obviously, that's life. We're going to go through these ups and downs, but staying positive about it and, just going for your dreams, man. Whether that's working in a cannabis dispensary or just, getting back on your feet, whatever it is, don't give up on it. Sometimes you might have to get a job right now. Just get a job anywhere. Go do the day labor stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a workforce place right next to our store at 420 East Southern. They hire people daily. They'll put you out to work. They'll get you cash that day or a check that day. And then use that money while you're applying to get into the cannabis industry. Don't just sit around and expect a job in the cannabis industry because they're not that quick. And when you do get a job in the cannabis industry, it's going to take a few weeks because they're going to have to do a background check. They're going to have to do a fingerprint check. And you're still be sitting around waiting. So at least do the day labor stuff or, working in a secretary job, whatever you can do to get by until then, because you're going to need some kind of supplemental income, especially in that situation. It's gonna be a long road to get into the industry. Whatever your length of time is, it's gonna seem like a long time. But once you get in it, it's gonna be rewarding. You're gonna get those discounts and the CBD and THC. There's always employee discounts and medicines to try. So having the willpower to not give up is very important. Let's see what else we got. so he hasn't been able to pay for his card in the past year. He's had his for 3 years and even grew large ops in the past. Like uh, Miguel was saying, is even if you don't have your card, go ahead and apply. Talk about those experiences. Even if they are illegal experiences.
Right. Yeah.
Just use candor as much as you can. Even if the grow wasn't a legal grow, they're still looking for people with those types of experiences, of course, and finding that balance. If you want us to check out your resume, anybody listen to this podcast, April, you want to give out should I give out your email there? All right, so email your resume to April, April, at herbalrisings.com, herbal, herbalrisings.com, and she'll look at your resume, Kevin, and she'll give you some pointers on it. Make sure it's the resume for the position you're going for, and see. And we'll give you we'll give you some help, man. We'll look at your resume, make sure that's in line, because one of the main things you want to have in this industry is a 1-page resume. Dispensary owners, managers, HR, they're seeing thousands and thousands of resumes coming in a day, a week, month, whatever they're coming in for these positions, whether they're open or not open. And when you have more than a 1-page resume, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. They might see something on the second page, put it to the side, and now your contact information is not on there. They don't know who this was now. It's lost. So having a 1-page resume is very important in the cannabis industry. But April, that's what she does. She looks at on a daily basis, helps people get in the industry. So send your resume over to April, and she'll help you out there. So yeah, Kevin, you're welcome. But yeah, keep on watching. Share this podcast. Let us know how it turns out, and send your resume over to April. Here's your phone bucket. So yeah, where are we at on the cannabis? So we're smoking THCA crystals. We got lemon cake here. And I got an indica in the grinder. I just realized that's what that was, because that was from last night.
It's a nice little grinder.
Yeah, it used to come open from the side, and you can just pour it out. But
oh wow,
it's got some of the keef crystals and stuff in it now. It's pretty much sealed. But play a little craps with it. Roll the 9. Yeah,
I was gonna say we got a gambling addict over here, so we better put that one away.
Yeah, she just ran off to the restroom, so she didn't see it. But yeah, so we got the indica from Health for Life. I got these lemon crystals from where did I get these from? AZNF. AZNF. Who's AZNF? Actually, I think I got them from
Nectar Farms.
I don't. Yeah, I think it's who made them, actually, guys. I think I got them from Emerald.
Emerald.
Yeah. They had I think it was from 420, actually. They've had these for a while. I bought like 4 of them. I just kind of held on to them because they had a buy 2 get 1 free.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I got 3 of them for sure, and I think I got even more. I like them.
You know who I don't agree with their concentrate was Arizona Organics.
No, you don't like organics?
It was.
I used to get
a couple of their batches were
shattered.
kind of I questioned. I don't know. Some of them just were rough on the inhale.
Yeah.
So, and then that's one thing like we were mentioning earlier. It's the extractions or how they're blending these things. I've had some cartridges in the past that it really stirred up my mouth, made it real sensitive.
Yeah.
Canker sore, or even just drinking water and almost you taste these chemical tastes in the back of your throat, just coating the back.
Yeah.
So things like that, and that's why with cartridges I don't branch off too much. I just stick with what I know is I like as far as like decent quality or good quality, and great quality.
And that tends to be you just said it earlier. Who's your cartridge though?
Timeless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we used to carry timeless stuff in the store, but I think we had a professional falling out at one point back in a while back. But I think their quality's always been decent. What do you see as far as people coming in and new employees in the cannabis industry? When they do get the job, what kind of experiences do you see there?
So it's, if you gotta be patient, definitely like if we were talking earlier, just listen to the patients. But other than that, other than dismissing the patients, well, it's I went through the company I was with for 4 years, and it's yeah, there was a lot of things that were questionable about the procedures that were being done and how things were being handled, and there, hey, you work for the person, so either you just gotta, I don't know, question values sometimes.
So as a new bud tender, they should be looking at is this the right position? Is this the right place for me? Not only do I smoke marijuana here, but how's the other employees here?
Right.
How's the atmosphere?
Yeah.
As a working atmosphere.
Yeah.
So you were there for a while though. I mean,
Mhm.
was it like that when you first got there, or did that kind of gradually?
So the first time I recall was people asking or saying, "Oh, it's nice to see men here. It's nice to see guys working here." Because I guess in the beginning, it was like a Hooters version of a dispensary.
And you see that a lot in California. Arizona isn't as bad, but you do notice that they try to hire female bud tenders more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's fine and all. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But they dealt with a lot of sexual harassment from employees or the owners or patients or even their own security guards.
Okay.
So it's like it was everywhere. So once they introduce some male figures into the place, they starts to kind of promote this balance. But even then, yeah. I it's see, I feel really uncomfortable talking about it mainly because I've witnessed sexist. I've witnessed racist. I've witnessed people crying and just everything. So it's like you really just kind of just have to go in there and not care on how people are being mistreated, or it can get pretty ugly depending on where you were working at.
Do you think it's different because it's a new industry that
there's no regulation, there's no HR. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Right. So like the owners are literally there in the building pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nobody you can go to.
Correct.
What you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. And it can be tough, but if you can just get the experience, get your foot in, have the right mindset, you have your heart in the right place, you want to help people, you want to educate people, it's going to make a difference.
So do you think like big places like Curaleaf and MedMen that are coming in and taking over Swell and these other places, do you think that's a better approach because they have a HR, they have that type of, they're a bigger corporation, or do you think the smaller mom and pops are better for the industry?
Well, see, the thing is, I support local businesses. So as long as it's all local, that's what I'm supporting.
Mm-hmm.
They just, I want to say that people just all want to be treated equally and fairly. And it doesn't happen in most cases. So for me, it was just about keeping my head down, doing my job, and make the company some money.
Right.
And in the end, I stayed off the radar. It didn't bother me. I just kept to myself. And eventually, everything started changing to where finally there was a high turnover. They started questioning what's going on. And finally, they started looking into hearing the opinions of the employees. And kind of things started changing around to where everything started working out to the point to where we were like a family. Okay. We were working together. We're helping each other out. Nobody had a problem switching shifts and showing up to work that day. And there was days I worked, from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. because somebody just decided not to come back or decided to just quit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just leave you hanging.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's tough. It's stressful because you deal with about, over 40 people a day, 60 people at one time. We were the only ones open on Christmas Day.
Wow.
So
a lot different than our store where you see like maybe 10 people.
It's slower pace, but you know what? It's you're really getting from working at a CBD. This is where I truly believe holds more medicinal value. That's why it was easy for me to just realize like THC is not the way to go. I've working at a regular dispensary. I've discovered about CBD and really started educating myself on it. And once I started talking to the patients about it, I found out that majority of those people that don't even want to get high,
Right.
they don't want to feel that dysfunctional place in their head. Plus, they didn't seem to get the same pain relief they got from using CBD.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people who decided not to even renew their card and just use CBD products because you didn't need your medical card. One beautiful thing about CBD is like witnessing people get off handful medication pills because of the help of CBD.
Yeah.
And it's CBD is where it's at, and it should be something that should be researched more.
You know, we have to put out quality products, and that's on the dispensary owner, the people behind the counters, making sure that their products are what they say they are.
Yeah.
And that's very important to me and hopefully the rest of the industry.
Yeah, and before I forget, there's also, so you got the bud tender. That's what we are focused on. That's who the person you come in contact every day when you buy your bud. The bud tender. And you got your front desk person who checks you in. Then we forget about the people running the backbone, which is the warehouse people putting the stuff together, putting it in containers and whatnot. I've had some things I've witnessed. I've seen latex glove inside of an edible. Multiple times we've seen containers of flour missing flour. So it's unfortunate because, you've seen these containers, you can't see through it. So you can't really tell, especially when it's a gram or possibly an eighth if it's a really light eighth. And then you come back, your patient comes back and he's telling you he never had any flour in there. You're just like, really? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is you have to take their word for it, or
right.
It's he said, she said. It's a tough situation at that point.
And then they would bring back their containers and it'd be like speck free, clean, just immaculate.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I could see, but you could have cleaned it.
Yeah. And we've actually had that happen before too. When we first opened Herbal Wellness Center, everybody was doing everything, and there was too many hands in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we brought April in as a quality control, and she did all the packaging for Herbal. And then that's when we started seeing the standards. And she actually created the actual quality control standardization for Herbal. Did the whole process of checking the meds in to breaking it down to what it goes in. I mean, she recreated that whole system. What do you call it, babe? Procedures, policies and procedures, basically. Yeah, she created the policies and procedures on how to check in cannabis for MJ Freeway. This didn't exist, and we were the third dispensary open at that time. So creating that industry from the inside out, we definitely see where as you get busier, how that there needs to be a standardization. There needs to be somebody coming in and pulling something off the shelf, making sure it weighs 3.5 grams, making sure that it's mold free.
Heck yeah,
because the sample might not be.
Or use clear packaging, because then you can see mold, you can see at least a bug, you can see anything through a clear package.
Yeah, I think deli style is a good way for that. Is because you get the jar out, you pull out the buds, even though it takes longer for the patient, but at least they get to see the medicine get weighed out in front of them.
Right.
And even though it's really great for the dispensary because they sell more weed that way.
Mm-hmm.
You got your price at $10 a gram, whatever, for $8, $7, whatever it is a gram, and then you throw it in there and you do discounts for the eighth or whatever, but you're going to end up waiting for 4.2 grams because I want that bud or whatever, and you end up selling more cannabis to one patient instead of an eighth. Now they have 4 or 5 grams, and I don't know. I like deli style, but myself,
I prefer it too, man. I do, because at the end the flower's still curing itself.
Yeah.
It's not losing any moisture. You're not getting some dry flour in these pre-packaged containers that you don't know how long they've been sitting in containers or on the shelf. And it's like one of those things, people get upset that they get dry flour from us. It's like, it's Arizona too. I mean, things dry up real quick.
Well, with the hemp stuff, first off, it's got to be grown and dried somewhere else. Then we have to take it in, then we have to process it, take it down, break it down. So there's so much of the air hitting the product, it just dries out so quickly. And then having it on the shelf for the patient to have available, you gotta have it. You have to have it ready.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing it down and putting it out there. Whereas if you just had a jar out there and they picked it out, you probably do a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see both. I see both ways. I see a customer just wanting to go, hey, give me an eighth, give me a gram, and run.
Yeah.
But then there's those ones who want to pick out, I want that bud.
Speaking of which, I've witnessed people attempt to steal a half ounce.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I've had people try to reach over our counters, pull the drawers out, try to reach in and take some stuff. I'm like, dude, you are not welcome back.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is people get sticky fingers, and you see a lot of people on a daily basis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When we first opened the CBD dispensary on 19th Avenue, we always have the button where you ring the bell and push the button and let them in. So we weren't really paying that much attention to the lobby. We were out back flying a drone. We were filming the neighborhood going up by the mountain and stuff, and then whatnot. But while we're in the back, it was me and the security guard. We were hanging out in the back talking and flying the drone. And somebody came in the front, took our tip jar and some other things. And
Jeez.
we didn't even hear him come in, or they were just watching it back on the video. I was like, son of a bitch.
Bastard.
The one time the door didn't close all the way, it just happened to be, if there's an opportunity, they'll take it for sure.
And that's one thing. I remember Herbal Rising at its first location because me and my girlfriend went in there and we did a dab. We did a dab. So that was the first time it kind of woke me up to CBD.
Well, that was what we wanted, was to have people give them that chance for $5 or $10 just to see what CBD can do for you. And that was our goal. So that's cool, man. So you came in and did a dab and CBD worked.
Yeah. It was definitely a different experience. Something I would prefer from a day-to-day, during the day type of basis. Like, okay, I stick to THC in the morning with my coffee, and then in the evening, and then CBD during the day. Days off, all day, I'll do both.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm an all day, every day type of guy, so I gotta do both. But CBD definitely helps me balance. Like if I get a little bit too medicated, I'll hit my CBD jewel, and it helps me down. I like our Great Eddie Purple.
I was gonna ask you, what are you using?
I use the Great Eddie Purple. I thought I had it on me, but I don't. But yeah, I usually have that one on me. Yeah, but I don't know, CBD's good. But I do like the THC. Obviously, I do vape a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I talked to her about investing in one, and she refused to because she thinks it's a lot more to have around the house because of the kids. I'm like, I can put it away. It looks like a blender.
Yeah. So you just keep this on the counter, and you don't really. I mean, there's nothing to it. There's no like gonna get hurt, or there's no fire, there's no cannabis in it or around it. The weed stays in this. I mean, you have to really open it. It's not something that's just gonna pop open.
Yeah.
So I really I think it's more safe than having a bowl of cannabis laying around, because you get an ash on the floor, or it falls out. You drop whatever that ends up on the floor. The kid eats that.
Drop the amber.
Yeah, anything. Your dog. You drop a hot ash on the dog. There's a lot of problems. I got quite a bit of dab
Poor
scars.
dog.
Yeah. So I know there's definitely some benefits to it. It's push button. You just turn the temperature. You just push into the temperature you want. Now I noticed a lot of cannabis will vaporize at different temperatures. So like this one, I'll start off at 385, and then when it's almost done, I'll go up to 420 and kind of burn off the rest. But like some of it won't even start vaping until like 420, and others will be like really smoky at 385. So like it really depends on the strain or the way it's grown. I don't know, but I'm starting to learn that out. But if you see that, it's all pretty consistent on the color. There's nothing like too dark or whatnot. So this is like the final look of it. I've seen some get really dark. Like I have a little handheld vaporizer, and it gets almost black. Sometimes. That's pretty much just burning it. I don't think that's quite the same as just vaping the THC out of it, or with the cannabinoids itself.
Magical butter right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something with it. I don't know just what. Yeah, I would like to make whatever it is and then get it tested, see what's in it before eat it because I would like to dose it out.
Because you got a CO2 extractor, right?
I don't, but I'm sure we can get access to one. We when we first did our first class, we went to Health for Life. They sponsored it. We went back and went to their whole extraction unit and got involved. But all of our products, we either do start with flower, isolate, or distillate. We don't break it down to isolate or distillate ourselves. So yeah, we start with the processed products, I guess. We don't grow the plant.
As long as it's coming from a trusted quality, so that matters.
That's what we do. We make sure our labs are licensed, and the hemp handler's license is very important, especially like Nevada, Colorado, places like that who are actually regulated and quality control as far as the processing from bulk material to isolate distillate.
Yeah,
is you got to make sure that it's regulated, because I mean the distillate you come out, there could be anything in a waxy distillate. There could be contaminants like left and right. So having a good trusted lab is very important to start with, and then breaking it down from there in your own lab is very good. Very important to have a nice, good, clean lab. People who know what they're doing. I don't have a chemistry degree, but I trust people who do. That's very important to have those people around you that know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we've always been. Herbal Risings has always been about finding the educated people, putting together that education, and then passing it along.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And it goes along with sharing your experiences. I've learned a lot from just talking to patients. It's on why they medicate, their methods of medicating, even finding out how they do their own, infusing their own edibles at home, doing their own stuff at home. So it's always neat to discover other new ways. In the end, is you can't really search so many, all these benefits and elements actually really helping people, because now it's not being a funded study. The government is not putting money towards, let's do a placebo group and a regular group, and let's try if CBD does help with all these elements.
Right.
Because if that was the case, you knock pharmaceutical companies away completely.
Yeah.
And so
we have so many people wanting it not to work when they come in and try our little samples, and then it does work. Right there in the store, you can see it.
Yeah, and you know what? Because you said that, just brought that back to me. You have people who come in and say, "Oh, I buy a 50,000 milligram hemp extracted CBD online for $17, and it didn't do anything for me."
Right.
I'm like, it's probably because not as trusted source that you thought it was.
Yeah.
So I had people who would come in our shop and just buy our 8 milligram daily dose kind of a oil tincture and have a much better experience off of it.
Is that crazy? Yeah. A small dose actually works better than some of these large ones, because it's actually what's in it. It's the oil that carries it, and it's actually the CBD that's in it. It's very, very important. Speaking of our prices, tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I don't want to rush this out too much, but it should be tomorrow, we're going to have a big price drop. In the store, we're gonna have menus coming into all the stores. Hopefully tomorrow. So after this podcast, I'm going to print the menus, and then tonight we're going to be changing all the prices online and on our websites and in the store. So tomorrow, when people come in, they're going to be seeing significant price drops.
Oh, wow.
So we're passing some big savings along to the industry. Things are changing. There's a lot of CBD companies opening up out there. There's a lot of places to get CBD. And, we want to be the trusted, reliable source, and we want to be affordable.
Right.
And so we want to, make sure that people can still afford the medicine. Even though other places might be selling it cheaper, we want to make sure they get quality products at an affordable price.
Not even just that, but the experience. You don't want to walk into a smoke shop and ask about CBD, and they only know they have it there, but they don't know anything about it. Yeah. Don't get it at Circle K, because I've had people come in and they got it from Circle K and it didn't do absolutely anything for them.
Yeah.
So our salves, it's one of the things. I've used other salves while I was in dispensary, THC infused, a 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah. Didn't do much for me. Yeah. But our stuff, dude, I use a little bit, it goes a long way. And it's phenomenal, because for me I struggle with chronic pain. I can't stop moving. I have a messed up back because I was myself in 2 motorcycle accidents. Wow. And it's, I don't realize how much physical pain I'm in until I started aging, and I started questioning, why do I hurt so much? I mean, definitely the motorcycle is a big contribution to that, but Man, THC, if anything, is one of those things that help me get more mind body conscious awareness kind of
Yeah.
thing and mind body connection. Because of THC, it actually enhanced my physical pain. It literally magnified the areas I was hurting the most.
Oh wow.
So it also helped promote me to start stretching, something I never really did on a regular basis.
So it made you more body aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ever since that, it just kind of started paving the path on really taking care of myself and looking at what I'm doing to myself, other than just, lifting weights and really not paying attention to what I'm ingesting.
Yeah.
But THC definitely made me more conscious awareness of how I feel
Wow.
physically.
And that salve is helping the muscles relax or the pain go away, you think?
So no, absolutely the salves. The salves take the weight completely away. It's like I tell patients, I put the cream on my back. I don't really care too much for. Okay, so this one of those things. I'm just gonna, I guess, clear up on the reasons why I medicate. THC I just use because it relieves some stress and whatnot, but it doesn't relieve me from my chronic pain. It
Sure.
doesn't relieve me from true pain. But CBD, it's something I apply in the morning, especially since Sierra over here got the cucumber melon. It's something I put on in the morning, and it just gets me through the day. I have some other oil tinctures I have at home that I'm getting through. It's a canna hemp, and it's something I had, so I'm just going through that. And I take that in the evening, and I take it because it helps with my sleep. So the CBD I use myself just because it helps with the sleep. Other than the wide variety of benefits it has, mainly my reason is it's helpful for my sleep.
Right on. That's cool.
And then the topical cream in the morning, and that's how I medicate with CBD.
Awesome.
And then vaping.
Yeah.
Vaping it's another thing I really enjoy the most too, because it's the quickest in the bloodstream. It's the most effective for instant relief, but it's not gonna help with like if you're really suffering with like a level 10 chronic pain kind of scale. I wouldn't say it's an Advil to a headache. It'll take a migraine away. If you're feeling stressed, anxious, take a little vape hit. You feel like all that stress washes off your shoulders. Road rage, take a little vape pull. You'll feel that much better.
Nice.
So,
but for direct pain, salve, for chill out, vape.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, good deal. So, when customers come in on a first time to CBD, what do you see them trying? Is it tinctures? Is it vape? Is it salves? What do you see the first time patients usually going with?
So I always recommend the oil, just because I believe that's a strong foundation to just consume the most CBD in your system. So you're gonna introduce the most CBD that method, whether it's the oil form or an edible, or even the teas are fantastic because 25 milligrams are a fantastic dose. You're gonna feel some relief with the 25 milligrams.
Have you tried our teas?
I personally haven't. Sierra has some teas. But 25 milligrams in general. Plus, I do drink tea. I just haven't drank her teas yet.
Yeah. I was just curious. I haven't tried the tea myself, but I know Haley has tried it. But they're good. I got a thumbs up from the corner over there. They are good. Well, that's cool. Yeah, because we actually make those with actual hemp flower and then the actual tea flower, the tea leaves. So it's a actual infused. It's not. So like if you put like isolate or distillate in a tea or whatever, oil and water don't mix. Yeah. But if you put cannabis in water and boil it, you'll infuse the water. So that's how that tea is actually done. It's not.
That's neat.
It's not an actual oil and water type mix. Like a lot of people will put isolate or water soluble CBD in there. But really, when you get through the water, the tea bags, and all that stuff, you're just losing so much of it. But when you use the actual flower itself, it infuses the water, and you actually get the actual cannabinoids, the flavor. That's what I would say. The flavor of the cannabis in there. The hemp flower. So it's a different method. I probably just gave away a company secret there, but it's important to have natural. Especially when it comes to like teas and things like that, you want to get those antioxidants from the whole plant, not just the CBD or the THC or whatever.
Yeah,
you want that actual whole plant health.
Speaking of natural, It's unnatural the way things are being grown right now. I mean, they're pumping all these chemical nutrients into these flowers.
Sure.
You read a lot of these nutrient labels. It contains product to cause cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
So it goes to question, if a flower is not being flushed properly, you're just gonna smoke this stuff into your
Yeah.
system, unfortunately. And so if nobody has gotten cancer from cannabis, it's gonna happen now.
Mhm.
And then they're not gonna go and say, "Oh, it's the chemicals that they've been
Right,
feeding
it's
the
the
plant." No,
cannabis.
it's the cannabis.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're gonna find a way to demonize it.
Yeah.
And yeah, these chemicals are crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what's making these things pump up to like 20% THC in flower, and something that's never been natural.
Yeah.
It's man took something natural, made it unnatural by pumping chemicals, putting under LED lights, everything controlled environment, which is great if you want some fantastic quality stuff. But I mean, are they
sun is the
flushing
way to
it?
go.
Yeah, the
Yes.
sun,
Yeah.
natural way for sure. Just how it was intended. But still, like, if they're not flushing this stuff out, because I'm all for good flower too.
Yeah.
It's like, if they're not flushing this stuff out, you can definitely now. I've tried my fair share of poorly flushed cannabis, and you can definitely feel that scratchy, real rough, scratchy feel. It's like thick smoke.
Yeah.
It just really bugs you, and it just, you can definitely feel that it's you feel that it just affects in your throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's kind of the first time I found out that what a poorly flushed cannabis plant kind of does to you. And then from then I started paying attention to how certain cannabis tastes. Because in the beginning I couldn't taste it.
Right. It's weed. You're
Yeah.
lucky to have it. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Right. First
Yeah.
of all, now we got people who are picky. Indica sativa hybrid.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. 10 years ago, you'd be psyched to get a gram on something on the street.
Now, when we first opened the dispensary in at 43rd and Indian School, I mean, the weed would just smoke down to like a black coal. It'd spark. Nobody really knew what they were doing at the beginning.
Clean the resin
pipe.
pipe. Smoke the resin out of the pipe.
Well, it just wasn't flushed. It would just turn into like it would just be a big lump of unsmokable. So
somebody tried.
Yeah, and, trial and error, and the industry is definitely getting better, but you do see those errors coming up. The rust grows, the AC went out in this one, or
moldy flower.
Yeah, there's all sorts of little things that come up, and unfortunately, being a licensed grower with a dispensary, you can't really find extra flower out there. You can't go get it from a patient and replace that, so they have to sell what they grow.
And it sucks you can't get it from Colorado.
Yeah, you can't cross state lines. You can't do nothing. You have to grow whatever you sell. And if you have a bad grow, you have to sell a bad grow and sell it the best you can. Nug, run, shatter. That's where those nugs coming from? Why aren't they selling on the shelf? That's
always question half ounces for $20.
Oh, that's there's a lot of those in here.
Half ounce for $20.
I don't know about that, but I get like the $60 halves and the $60 ounces sometimes. I did some. This is the one we're smoking on is an $85 popcorn ounce.
Oh
Yeah, I do those.
Yeah, those anything above $60-$70, you're gonna get some okay quality.
Well, Portland's got those $20 ounces now. They're trying to give that weed away. They can't.
Where?
In Portland, they have too much cannabis.
Oh god,
Oregon's got way too much. Yeah,
must be hard living up there.
Yeah, so I think they got like $5 $20 ounces.
They're one of the states that have I guess you could say, the best climates for growing. Washington, Oregon.
Yeah, they got too much weed. They can't give it away.
Yeah. Arizona, it's the opposite. It's like you're in the desert, 110, 20 degrees out there.
Yeah.
And people are complaining while your flower's dry.
Yeah. We wish we had Oregon's problems. Well, we've been doing this for a little while. You got someplace you got to run off to? I don't want to keep you too long. I think we did touch a lot of topics. We hit it for about an hour.
Hey, I mean, if you don't have any questions for me, I tried to answer everything and try to stay on course here.
I think we did. I don't want to ramble too much. I think we got a pretty good topic. Is there anything else you want to throw in there?
Persevere.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going for.
Don't give up. Don't get mad when you don't get it. If you're trying to get in the cannabis industry, we work with a lot of people who just keep on trying. They end up in the industry. Mm-hmm. We also get those reviews from people who tried it once and said we didn't do anything for them and leave us a bad review because they didn't get in the industry in the first try. That's unfortunate. We're going to work with you as long as you work with us. And, if you're going to get in the industry, it's because of your attitude and and your approach.
Yeah.
And we're gonna help you along the ways. And you'll be an Herbal Rising student. You're in the family, and if you're not an Herbal Rising student, try it out.
Mm-hmm.
At least try our $15 history of cannabis course. It's put on your resume. At least you did something, invested in yourself some way.
Yeah, you don't have to be an expert by all means. Like, there's so much to learn. Don't get overwhelmed. Just learn the basic. Have a strong foundation on this stuff, because in the end, it's like, I don't know half of these devices. Honestly, it's like there's a lot of new contraptions out there, new ways to smoke this stuff.
There's more coming.
Yeah, jeez. It's hard to keep up with that.
Yeah.
So it's like, keep it simple. Share the good experiences.
And share the knowledge.
Share the knowledge.
All right. Well, thank you, Miguel Jimenez. I appreciate you coming out, and we'll see you at work tomorrow, man.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, man.